Hello guys, we haven't heard each other in a while and definitely we didn't do any market reviews for a long time. Let's do that today. Let's look at Bitcoin and other indicators that we can use and altcoins in general and look at some of them in particular. So let's look at Bitcoin first. First of all, we can see that the price action is developing majorly according to our macro analysis. As you can see, we are following these trend lines precisely. As you can see, we broke this first trend line that we have here, the green one, and since then it is our resistance, and I added this local counter trend line too to for an additional help. So basically, after we lose one trend line, we head slower or faster we head into the second one. The second one, also the midterm, an important trend line here, and definitely it is worth our attention to pay attention what is going to happen when the Monday comes. So let's enable our super trend and Kijun. As you can see, additionally, what we can see here, we see that super trend resistance appeared to be, we broke the super trend support that we run for a long time, and we went for the retest of the super trend resistance here to find out whether it is going to be confirmed that the trend has changed. And as you can see, for now it looks like it has changed, but it is early to say that, because for that we additionally need to drop under this Kijun resistance. If we drop today and close tomorrow under this Kijun resistance, definitely we can retest it, and definitely we will go lower into first 26,700, 26,800, somewhere there. And who knows how fast it is going to be, but for now it looks like the reversal. But let's not rush with those conclusions. Because why? Because until we today is the weekend, the Sunday, the last day of the weekend, and if we go for the retest here and we hold it and gets recovered back closer to the Monday opening, we can do something like this, retest and go higher, and that already would open the gate for that 32,400. Maybe not straight away. We will retest here and go higher, and after that definitely we still have 32,000 on the table, and after that we will see what is going to come. I see some kind of like these scenarios. If we do not dive immediately today, tomorrow, under this Kijun resistance, something like this. These are the scenarios I am expecting in general. That is why it is worth paying attention to it, and especially pay attention to altcoins, because a lot of them, they were dumping heavily during this Bitcoin's while Bitcoin was stuck. It wasn't dumping, it wasn't very much macro bullish, bearish in the last few days, but the altcoins, a lot of altcoins were dumping heavily, and this usually serves for us as the precaution that the big market dump is coming, and we don't know whether it is going to happen this time too. But definitely we need to be very cautious and take on the precautionary risk management measures, and definitely pay attention to that. And the next, if we dump, definitely on Monday, if we dive under Kijun and under this 28,800 range resistance line, if we dump under it and we continue going, then definitely the first And the first support where we are going to stop the falling is going to be either here around 27,600, 500, or depends how fast this movement is going to happen and if we dump actually under this Kijun resistance, or up to 25,500 somewhere here, somewhere upon this global trend, midterm trend line, the second one. So basically these are the levels to follow, and definitely here upon this purple zone is going to be a strong support here. I don't think we are going to go lower straight away if we start falling immediately in the next few days. I don't think it is going to be broken, and I don't even can imagine how many of the alts are going to look like, how they are going to survive if Bitcoin goes past this this support, this trend line, if it hypothetically wants to go lower. I don't think it is going to happen because there are some altcoins that are good ones and there are basic ones, and they are looking shit at the moment even, and Bitcoin even haven't started to dump. What is going to happen to them then? Definitely we've got to follow that. Let's head to other charts. First of all, we have this chart with trend lines. Again, as I told you, sooner or later I am expecting the price to come to, as you can see, we were chopping the weekly Kijun for a few weeks here, which is not usual a common thing, but definitely we are in this range and we can do that. Depending on how this weekly is going to close, if it closes like this with this red candle or of the sort, then definitely the second one is going to go lower. This is the math. This is the how the market formation candle formation is happening. For example, and let's look at the monthly. Why I think if we break this current structure in the next 2 days, we can go higher, because on the monthly we didn't go higher in the previous month in April, because as I told you, precisely as I shared with you, we found Kijun resistance on the monthly upon this level, $31,000, upon this corner of this and corner resistance of this monthly Kijun. So definitely we got rejected, but still closed the month with this green candle, which provides for us opportunity to either go higher and get back down, or maybe even go up to 32,000 and then go down, or immediately we are going down to 26,000 zone. So definitely we look for the next few days whether we are going to dive under this for our Kijun, or we are holding and going higher to $32,000. Be careful, guys. So what about other instruments that we are using? Total market cap, the similar situation. Let's look at it. As you can see, we have this global 2017 trend line and 2020 trend line, and the price is moving precisely, and these trend lines, they serve as the support and resistance for the crypto market. And since we reclaimed this 2017 dotted trend line as support, we were holding good, and we tried to break this 2020 trend line, a huge resistance point, and we got rejected here. Now we are standing upon the 2017 dotted support trend line, and what is going to happen next, we've got to see it. That is why I'm telling you about the possibility, if we hold this trend line, this dotted trend line here, if we hold it, then definitely we enable our Kijun on daily. If we dive under it today, and we have it drawn already, If we dive under it, then we have this kind of price action, and we are going to 1 trillion market cap. Or if we recover, then we have, let's enable our super trend and let's look at it precisely. The same situation as with Bitcoin. If we recover it and hold this Kijun, then we are going for the retest of this super trend resistance. And if we do not break it and get back down, then possibly we are breaking it and going down, or retesting and finding the strength for a further final break and bursting into a bull market. But that is, for now, that is an unlikely scenario, this last one. But these two are very much possible. Let's look at the total 3. Let's look at, looks precisely in this range. And looking at the total 3, it is without Bitcoin and Ethereum, only altcoins. It looks to me that there's possibility to recover this one, this little guy, this inefficiency, this uncovered week could be a very good opportunity. Of course, if we reclaim this Kijun like this, then definitely we are not recovering this one until we have something like this, and then we will be back. So definitely for its recovery, when this Kijun becomes its support later. But if we do not reclaim it, then definitely there's possibility that we are coming not very soon. So okay, let's look at some of the traditional finance markets data. Let's look at S&P. As you can see, I predicted a few interesting, I shared with you this chart, and I shared great information here. Upon the retracement, we caught this retracement to the downside, then we had a strong recovery here. But look at the weekly. Even though it recovered, the weekly closed still in a red candle. Let's look at the daily. It looks kind of better here. Yeah, and super trend still holds. So definitely, if we get rejected here again, then definitely we are going lower. If we break it, then definitely we are going higher. This zone has held for a long time, and it is very important for us to pay attention to it. But based on what we can see here on S&P 500, given the fact that this was the red candle, the weekly candle, we can do something like this, retest it and go lower, or we can go lower immediately after the market trading opens and then buy back, and then there is a better opportunity for us to break it and go higher and become bullish here. Depending on how the next weekly is going to open and what is going to be the first and the second move, definitely. So as I shared with you, let's look at the dollar. Dollar is looking very interesting to me, and I shared it on my Twitter account. As you can see, let's remove this one. This is the scenario I'm looking at in the coming weeks and month. In case we hold this 100 zone, support zone, if the DXY is holding it, and we held it for many times, for a long time already, and it held perfectly. As you can see, this is the range support here, and if we hold it actually, then definitely we will have some bounces and an upside movement, not very fast, not immediate movement, but this is what is going to happen in my opinion. Let's enable our super trend and we will see why we are looking at it. Let's look at it on the, first of all, we need to reclaim this Kijun as it's drawn here. If we reclaim it, retest it, then we can go become bullish on the dollar index and go higher up to 105, 103, and somewhere there. Then we get some kind of retracement and get back more power and go for the retest of 108, 109. Let's look at the monthly. It looks better there. Why? Because this is where it looks more perfect for my scenario. We have this global trend line that we had. It's a little bit messy, but sorry, we need these indicators to show you why I think it is going to happen like this, the way I see it. If we do have like this, we first resistance here, rejection, we are retesting this at least according to the trend line here, and then going higher. Why? We will meet this monthly super trend resistance, strong one, and then we will get rejected, go back down, and we will end this month, this year at the level of 96 for dollar index. It is going to happen if we hold, only if we hold this 100 support line. Definitely we can do 96 first, but then we will start the recovery and something like this is going to happen. But my primary scenario that we will hold 100 level and that we are going to move just exactly like in this scenario. But this is preliminary. Keep an eye on it. First of all, let's look at some of the altcoins. Let's look at the OP, the perfect price action here, and the price is back into the yellow zone that I mentioned in the previous videos. You can see this. I like the price action of OP. All the ranges and levels are clear to me. So basically we had this double top, then dump, then the attempt with the support of the strength of the Bitcoin market, the attempt to retest this this global trend line that we lost, and a logical rejection here, then retest of the support of this range, then another complacency bounce, and I had this also another level here. I deleted it. Let's delete this hammer too. So definitely then the price comes back down to the zone, this yellow zone that I mentioned. It is going to be back to, and what we are expecting in the coming weeks, if depending on how Bitcoin is going to behave. If Bitcoin holds this support line, if it holds it, this yellow support zone, if it holds it, and next week starts with a bullish momentum and Bitcoin doesn't dump under Kijun, as we discussed already, then definitely I am expecting some recovery into this at least $2.20 zone, probably maybe with some kind of fake out, and then rejection, deviation, and dive back under, and we are going back lower. And where I think it is, if you are interested in the optimism token and you think you want to buy it and you missed it and you are looking into a safe spot to buy it, then definitely, in my opinion, 125, 123, 153, 43, this zone is a great spot buying opportunity, even if the reaction is going to happen here. Only the macro scenario is questionable. So basically, if you buy somewhere here or here and it goes higher, then definitely we got to see how this zone is going to react. If we get rejected and get back, we hold it, then definitely we go higher. If we lose this one and close under it on the daily time frame, then definitely we go lower, up to at least to 65, 64 or somewhere there. So basically, but it won't matter to you if you hold spot, and if you see it going lower and reaching our levels of support, you simply can use your OP to open some long if you have any margin trading pairs. That's it for OP, in my opinion. Let's look at Jaw. We nailed it, a few shorts in April. with this one. I told you to pay attention to the weekly Kijun, and I told you that probably we will hold the 167.70 cents zone of resistance, and look, we made some kind of fake out here, but then got absorbed and rejected, and look how it ended. Definitely precisely, and very good situation here. Very good play out, and I told you do not buy it unless this new weekly opens and holds above this weekly Kijun, and it actually opened above it, but then it got absorbed significantly, and definitely the reaction followed. And I told you in my previous video dedicated to jaw that I wouldn't buy it until it comes to this green trend line. This would be depending on how it goes, whether it is going to be 26, 28, 30 cents. It is a good spot buy for long term if you believe in it. This is my opinion here. So if you're looking into it, then definitely pay attention to this zone. Let's continue to other assets. Let's look at the Ethereum. As I told you, looks precisely here. Nothing clear at the moment on Ethereum in my opinion, but definitely we have we dived under this into this range, and I told you to be careful about it, and it played out very well. And now it is hard to say what is going to happen next, but as long as we hold under this, what is that, $2,053, if we do not break and reclaim this zone, that we are not going anywhere. We are continued dumping lower. Let's look at the monthly. On the monthly, it kind of looks that it wants to go for the retest of 100, 600, somewhere there, and the next is going to be clear when we cross this monthly Kijun. On the daily, the same situation as with Bitcoin here. Look at this. Look how precisely all those major instruments of the market look. If we today, if we dive under it, close here, go start the monthly the week with some kind of retest, then we are going lower, and somewhere like this, maybe up to 1,500, who knows. If we hold it, then we can change the game and break this super trend resistance, but the chances at this moment are diminishing very fast. For now, it doesn't look like kind of bullish situation, but let's wait for the Monday opening. Let's look at the algo. A lot of people, I have my drawing here, I shared it with some people on Twitter. Let's look at it, and this is what is going to happen here, and this is what I was expecting. I told you many months ago in 2022 that buying upon the retest of this or longing here is a good idea, and we failed to reach this level here. This is where I told you to expect for 10, 11, 14 cents here for ALGO, but we didn't reach that. I think this time we are going to do that, and this is going to be a great spot to buy. And all this fuss about from the SEC and the United States regulator going after ALGO and some other stuff, I don't think it is going to harm that much ALGO, and all those delistings that were announced, they are temporary, as well as the XRP delistings were. So basically it only plays in our hands, in my opinion, in the long term. If you're a fan of ALGO and you want to buy it and hold for a long term to get your profit, definitely I would buy if we touch here and hold it. Definitely this is where it's going to come 100%, in my opinion. in the next bull run, and depending whether we break this global trend line or not, we are going to expect the further price action. If we lose it here, then we are going back, something like this, or we are going to do something like this. These are my scenarios, macro scenarios for the algorithm. Pay attention and use at your convenience. And then let's look at the, I don't know what next. Let's look at rows. Definitely, this is the, if you believe in rows, definitely I think we will recover this uncovered wick here. It will be very logical here. And if you are looking to accumulate it, definitely we will see reaction from here, from this level. What it is, 4 cents, 4.5 cents. Definitely I would buy here. Wouldn't even expect it lower here at 3.2, at 3 cents and a half. Definitely would buy 70% here and would leave 30% of allocation for rows here. And definitely a good opportunity to accumulate, because it won't matter in the future for your run if you believe in this project. Then let's look at the link. A lot of people are looking at it and they say that it is in the huge accumulation range, and a lot of assets are actually. It kind of looks like a bullish. When I saw this, if you remember my previous videos, when I saw this rejecting and absorbing candle, I thought we are going lower up to $3 or somewhere there. No, we didn't actually, but still we have these candles, and we have another one kind of absorbing, not that aggressive of course here, but still another one absorbing, and we have this global trend line. And global trend line is a huge support for us. And definitely we also have this, what we have here. We have this uncovered wick also, like many altcoins. Yeah, and in my opinion, we will definitely cover it, and we'll come to this for the retest of this global trend line at around 5, how much is that? 562, somewhere there. Definitely I would try to buy there and look for the reaction. I think the reaction is going to happen, meaning the buyback. And after that, it is up to you. You either take your profit and wait for a lower, for breaking. If it breaks this global trend line, then definitely it goes much lower, at least to $3 in my opinion. But if it doesn't break it, but definitely it is worth buying around 562, 570, 580. It is worth trying and waiting for the reaction. The same situation was with Injective, when I recommended upon the correction to buy at 252, and after that it never came back. The same situation can happen with Link if it holds this global trend line. So definitely pay attention to that. And let's look at the Link BTC. More insight, and I already shared this with you. More insights we have from the Link BTC pair. What you can see here precisely, we are coming for the, let's remove this price action here. Definitely we are going to cover this candle 100%, and of course we will have some reaction. The question here is whether Link will become strong after hitting this first support and recovering this candle, or it goes straight to this global trend line support. And I would actually 100% buy Link upon the retest of this one, because it is a great changing moment where the price that was trading within the lower range and it burst up and then went for the retest of all this trading range, accumulation range, and it held and reversed and took off from it. That is why this level is so strong, is going to be, and a lot of orders are there. So definitely pay attention, and I would buy if we touch this one. Let's look at Injective. A lot of people disliked my previous video on Injective, where I tried to explain why I would expect a bounce from here. Somewhere here we were when I published my video, and I told you that I'm expecting closer to the monthly in April. I told you that closer to the monthly opening, I expect Injective to recover after this dump, and I didn't care whether it is going to happen or not, because I told you if it goes lower, I'm going to buy. I don't remember where I told you that I'm going to buy, somewhere here. If it at that time I told you if it goes back lower into this zone or somewhere here, I'm going to buy spot and wait for the recovery. If not, and this was my secondary scenario, if not, I'm expecting, my primary scenario was that I was expecting the recovery from here to this range resistance, this huge major resistance into the monthly open, and this happened, and a lot of people disliked it a lot. Why? Because basically you are all biased. You hold your bags of Injective or any other coins, and you only react positively on the videos that provide you with the information that everything is going to be good and comforting information. It is not that. I'm always telling the truth. And as you can see, we went precisely as I expected, recovered and then back down. Perfect play out of my previous video. And even right now, I think we are going to hold. Right now, I think it is going to hold here. No conviction at the moment because Bitcoin doesn't look good, but if it holds here, then we will have some kind of recovery. I don't know at this moment at which level, and then we will lose the Kijun, and then we are going lower down, in my opinion. This is the preliminary, no conviction this at this moment, but definitely super trend, and this resistance, super trend resistance, has been broken, and we are retesting the support. Then definitely there is possibility then if we hold it and we go, these are the scenarios. If we lose this Kijun, then definitely it is over for the Injective. And from the monthly perspective, it makes sense to me, because we had from the monthly perspectives, I told you that we probably need to go higher, retest this huge zone of resistance again, and then get back down into the $5.26 at least, and give it a rest a little bit for this asset. That's it, I guess, for Injective from me. Let's look at other tokens that we have here. I told you about DODO. An interesting situation here, in my opinion. It has broken. I told you that it is going to be back to 14 cents, but I haven't bought it yet. Why? Because first of all, it didn't hold this super transport here. Definitely if we retested today this and we start recovery, then we probably retest this super trend, and if we fail to break it, then we are going to be back into this 11 zone, and this is the zone. I think it is a long-term safe zone, meaning if you buy or accumulate here, you will not lose your money and you will earn a lot. But there is huge, based on the overall market situation, there is a huge opportunity that it even gets back lower and breaks back up. No guarantees at this moment, but definitely buying here is not a mistake, in my opinion, for a longer term. Pantera Capital is behind this product, and they know how to keep their assets alive, as well as with Injective, now DODO. I think it is a good competitive exchange in the future. Fiat deposits and withdrawals there, something useful for the users. So I think I don't see that this project is has died like the others, like Akala or Glimmer or other of the Polkadot. And look at their charts. This one is very alive, and we can see a lot of weeks here of buying. So definitely it is going to have its moment in the future. In my opinion, it is going to burst after we leave this triangle, in my opinion. Then of course gets back, but then, or maybe it is going to be a strong one. We need some news for this one to become strong, but definitely it is worth, in my opinion, buying DODO somewhere here in this zone between 10, 14, 13, I guess 10, 13 cents. That is for a long term. That is what I'm going to do. Let's look at NEAR. With NEAR, it's all obvious to me, because this re-high line, the so-called re-high line, after we broke through this range that we traded and retested and took off, the same situation. It gets back to into 136, somewhere there, 38, 140, 150, 48, somewhere there. You buy it. You can long it and use as margin to long and multiply your NEAR after you buy there. I think it is a long-term save. I don't know whether you are positive and enthusiastic about NEAR. If you are, then definitely it is worth buying there. This is my vision here. Make your research, of course. I wanted to talk about, I don't see it here, SUSHI. Hard situation with SUSHI, because you know the suit against it, but definitely it gets compressed into this zone of 90 cents. So basically this is the scenario I'm waiting for. If it holds, retests, and again this 90 cents, and it will, in my opinion, and if it gets holds it again 3 times, we already touched it. Fourth time we hold it and we break higher. If we lose it, then definitely bail out. It is going to 50-60 cents. Of course, if after this rejection it gets back under it, definitely go out. But this compression kind of looks for me that there is a possibility of it to push higher after, if successfully retests and holds it as support. Definitely pay attention if you are into SUSHI. Let's look further. TRX looks interesting here and different than the previous times. We again try to break the Gijun resistance here, and we are breaking it. Depending on how the weekly is going to close, depending on how it is, if this today it dives under and opens under this Kijun resistance, definitely it is going lower until at least to this blue support line, at least. Or the worst scenario, it comes back to recover all these uncovered weeks, or it can, if it finds the exit here, definitely it is going to become our support, and from that we can dance. If it closes this week above it, then definitely there is a possibility to jump into this super trend resistance, retest it, and this global trend line, we will feel there is rejection and we will be back down. These are the scenarios I'm looking at. EOS, I guess 60 or 90 million were 60, I guess, were invested, but by some new venture capital company that is investing. We don't know it yet. It is new, but it is investing in many projects. So definitely it is worth paying. And EOS is making new developments. Definitely worth having it in your portfolio. But the problem is from where now it retests this global, no, not global, this local trend line. If it holds, which is unlikely at this moment, then definitely it is going higher from here. But if it dives under, I told you before that I would buy it around 85-80 cents into the dollar. Definitely I would wait for it to go lower and maybe retest it or reclaim it. I would, right now I wouldn't buy it. I would wait for the retest of this zone of 80 cents. If it holds there and reclaims above this line, then definitely above 85, then definitely it is worth buying spot and holding it, maybe even longing it, because you can long use as margin for longing. What are my targets, long-term targets? Let's look at the monthly, and they are clear here. They're clear. Long-term targets are around $6, somewhere there, $7. The intersection of this counter trend line and trend line, previous trend line. So be careful with this one, but it may be worth jumping into it when the time comes. The atom, I wasn't buying it like when everybody was buying, because I don't like this structure. The structure doesn't look good. I don't like this uncovered wick, which has to be covered sooner or later, in my opinion. I don't know, if we continue to go higher, we will meet again this global trend line resistance and get rejected and get back under. At least if you are interested in atom, I recommend buying at least here, somewhere around 850, somewhere upon the retest of this zone, because, and if it actually goes for the retest of this one, of this zone, this is my primary zone for buying atom. I'm not sure it is going to come there, but in my opinion it will come into the $8.59 zones totally. You can buy it spot, and if it goes higher immediately, then definitely you won. You nailed the almost bottom. But if it continues to go down, then definitely I would use my atom that I bought here as margin to open a small long x2 x3 leverage, and would hold it and multiply my atom. It is better than staking, in my opinion, with the save long. XRP doesn't, I don't know what is going to happen here. In the previous year, in 2022, I shared my expectation of it, and in my opinion, I told you that I am expecting 27-30 cents is a good 25-27-30 cents is a good long-term buy for XRP, and in my opinion it is worth holding it. Do not expect huge returns. If you bought here, then definitely you are good, because it is being compressed in this major triangle, and when it does, it bursts into $2, 180, $2 plus, in my opinion. Now Kijun serves as support here, and definitely I wouldn't short it. Who knows what is going to happen, but if it loses it, then definitely we have this global trend line, which is holding our support around 27, 28, 30 cents. Then here is a good spot to buy in the long term. That is what I would do. Also, I wanted to share with you, I don't know, PEPE. Everybody's talking about PEPE. I'm not looking into it. A lot of people are in it. In my opinion, I would wait for it to recover back for some kind of complacency bounce. If it holds here, definitely I would, if it would hold here, but it probably won't. If it holds and recovers, then I would wait for the rejection around 3.4, I don't know, 35, somewhere there, 0.35. I think it is going to happen like this, something like this, and eventually maybe something like this, and going lower around 3.33, 34, 35. I think it is going to reverse for good, in my opinion. That's that's only if Bitcoin doesn't dump significantly from this point, doesn't go into the free fall. Okay, let's look at the render. It was running hugely, great run from here, but what we can see here is that we need to build a trend line here. Okay, precisely here. So yeah, it makes sense to me. Depending on how it is going to close here, let's look at it. It holds it and closes the weekly above this line 220.21, above 221. If it closes above it, then definitely it is going higher, and if it closes the week above 221. If it closes below, then definitely I'm looking into further descending and dump into this yellow zone, in my opinion, in the midterm. If we see something like this and get back, we open the week under Kijun here, then definitely when we lose this trend line, it's over. It is going to this yellow zone. If the dump is huge here, definitely we will see some kind of recovery, then after that and lower. Only if we close this week today, about 221, and for now it doesn't look good, in my opinion. The weekly doesn't look good, and if we close under it, then definitely we will have some kind of bounce upon the opening of the week, in my opinion. If it closes under this range resistance, we retest it and go lower, like this. Not immediately we go for this yellow zone. If we retest it, then go into this global trend line around 160, and then start recovery, maybe retest it again, and then again lose it, then definitely we go low. Something like this. This is about render. Also, I'm very interested into already. I drew something here. Didn't want it to be here. Sorry, guys. A lot of drawings are here. I forgot to remove them. Okay, I'm interested in render. RDNT capital. Sorry. Again, it has we don't have history on centralized exchanges. It was much lower than 10 cents, a few cents, 1 cent. It started a huge rally it had because it is related to one of the top assets in the industry, the RDNT, and the RDNT capital. Yeah. It is connected with layer 0, and it is one of the promising projects. So definitely I'm into it, and DeFi, I like it, and I'm into any projects like this, new ones. And it had a huge run, but I see inefficiencies here. I don't like this one. I mean, I like it. I want it to be recovered at least to this red wick, and if it comes to 20 plus cents, I would buy it definitely and hold it for a long term. For now, I'm just looking at this candle. Let's enable Kijun, and it will help us. We have this super trend. If it dumps today, if it dumps immediately here, then definitely we will start the week with some kind of recovery, and it is going to be our resistance. And if I don't remember if we can short it. I would short it from here definitely, especially if it breaks this super trend support, then definitely our resistance will be somewhere here, and it would be a perfect place to short, and short at least to this one. And depending on how our weeklies and monthly are going to close, if aggressively, then I expect lower, but that is going to be one by one. Should not rush with this one. Okay, I guess that's it for today, guys. Leave a like button if you liked the content and the information.